At my husband's funeral, I said nothing, but days later my sister claimed her baby was his and demanded half my 900K base house. I just laughed because she didn't know what I found before he took his last breath. The funeral was packed with people pretending to care. I stood there, stone-faced, clutching the folded flag from my husband's casket. Everyone whispered about how young he died, how lonely I must be now. But none of them knew what I knew. Behind the tears, behind the condolences, behind my quiet, broken smile, was a storm I'd been waiting to unleash. My husband, Daniel, and I had been married for 8 years. We built everything together. Our $900,000 house, his business, our life. I believed in him completely, even when I started noticing the late-night texts, the business trips that didn't make sense, and the perfume that wasn't mine on his shirt. I wanted to confront him, but fate did it for me. 2 weeks before his death, I found something hidden in his drawer, a small blue envelope with my sister's name, Rebecca, written on it. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside were photos of them together, dates, hotel receipts, even a sonogram. My heart shattered, but I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I just planned. Then, a week later, he had the accident. A car crash on a highway outside the city. People called it tragic. I called it karma's perfect timing. Fast forward to the following weekend, Rebecca's son's first birthday. The irony wasn't lost on me. I showed up calm and dressed in black, the widow everyone pitied. But halfway through the party, when everyone was gathered, Rebecca clinked her glass and said, "I have an announcement." I looked up. She smiled, that fake sugary smile she'd worn our whole lives, and said, "My son is Daniel's child. And since Daniel's gone, I'll be claiming my son's rightful inheritance." The room went silent. My mother gasped. My aunt dropped her drink. Rebecca pulled out a folded paper from her purse. "Daniel's will." She smirked. "He signed this before he died. My lawyer says it's legally binding." I could feel every eye on me, waiting for me to break down. But instead, I smiled, slowly, calmly. "Oh," I said, "I see." Everyone was confused. I took a deep breath and looked her dead in the eye. "Rebecca, are you sure you want to do this here?" She lifted her chin. "Absolutely. Perfect," I said. "Then everyone might as well hear the truth." I reached into my bag and pulled out a small brown envelope, the one I'd kept sealed since Daniel's accident. "See," I said softly. "Daniel and I shared everything, including passwords." I turned to the crowd, and 2 days before he died, I checked his messages. Not only did I find out about his affair, I also found out something Rebecca doesn't know. Her smirk faltered. Daniel had a vasectomy 3 years ago. Gasps filled the room. Rebecca froze, her mouth opening but no sound coming out. I continued, "He did it after his second surgery. He couldn't have children after that. I have the medical papers, signed by the doctor himself." I opened the envelope and handed the copies to her lawyer. "So tell me, Rebecca, if Daniel couldn't have children, whose baby are you really holding?" The color drained from her face. Her husband, yes, she was married too, stood up, eyes wide with rage. "Rebecca, what the hell is she talking about?" The room turned into chaos. People whispered, gasped, backed away from her. She stammered, No, she's lying." But I didn't need to argue. Her husband stormed out, shouting her name. Her mother-in-law grabbed the baby and left. And my sister, the one who'd betrayed me, who thought she'd ruined me, stood there shaking, completely exposed. As everyone left, I walked up to her, leaned in, and whispered, "You thought you'd steal my home, but you just lost yours." A week later, I met with my lawyer. We verified the will she had was forged. Daniel's signature had been copied. Rebecca faced charges for fraud and forgery. The house remained mine, fully and legally. And when I finally visited Daniel's grave one last time, I didn't cry. I just looked down at his name and said, "You broke me once, but I built myself back stronger. And this time, it's my turn to rest easy." As I walked away, I smiled. Because sometimes, revenge doesn't need fire or fury, just truth, delivered at the perfect moment.